When a narcissist's carefully curated reality begins to unravel, the signs stretch far beyond mere outward chaos. It's not just their emotional state that shatters, their spiritual foundation also faces its inevitable collapse. This breakdown marks a reckoning, a deep spiritual force that ultimately dismantles their false narcissistic self. Here are 5 powerful spiritual signs that a narcissist's downfall is imminent. Sign 1. The collapse of their world. At first, it may seem like sheer coincidence, but the unraveling of a narcissist's world feels almost eerie. One by one, the pillars they've built their identity on start to fall apart. Their once glorious job becomes unstable. The perfect facade of relationships cracks. Friends who once worshipped them begin to distance themselves, partners pull away, and even family members begin to question their motives. The grand plans they'd boast about crumble, leaving them scrambling to hold on. But this isn't mere bad luck. It's the universe exacting karmic justice. For years, they've manipulated, lied, and used others for their gain, tipping the scales of balance in their favor. Yet the universe, patient and inevitable, eventually tips those scales back. Their actions are finally catching up with them. Every falsehood, every act of manipulation now returns to haunt them. There is no escaping the consequences. No matter how cleverly they spin their narrative, the universe ensures that energy, especially the negative energy they've projected, always finds its way back to its origin. Sign 2. A desperate need for control. As their world slips through their fingers, narcissists often turn to an unhealthy obsession with control. They micromanage every aspect of their environment, scrutinizing the smallest detail of interactions, words, and behaviors. The once charming aura becomes stifling. Every conversation feels like walking on eggshells. Their craving for dominance grows overwhelming. But beneath this compulsive need for control lies a fear of vulnerability. For a narcissist, letting go of control is terrifying. It means confronting the emptiness they've spent their lives avoiding. At its core, their obsession is a frantic attempt to avoid surrendering to the reality that they are, in fact, powerless in the face of the universe. But no matter how tightly they cling to this illusion, they can never truly bend the world to their will. The tighter they grip, the more it slips away. Sign 3. A draining, suffocating energy. Initially, narcissists seem like radiant, magnetic beings who light up a room. Their charm, their charisma, it's intoxicating. But when their downfall looms, their energy shifts. Instead of filling the space with light, they drain it. Being near them becomes exhausting, as though their very presence sucks the life out of you. This shift is purely spiritual. Narcissists are energy parasites. They rely on the vitality of others to sustain themselves. When their manipulative tactics stop working and people begin to pull away, their borrowed energy evaporates. The truth is, they've spent years rejecting love, truth, and authenticity, leaving their soul depleted. What you feel in their presence isn't just fatigue, it's the emptiness they carry within themselves. It's always been there, but now it's impossible for them to conceal. Sign 4. Isolation on a spiritual and physical level. The loneliness of a narcissist begins long before anyone physically walks away. On a deeper spiritual level, they have already isolated themselves. They are cut off from the very essence of life, love, truth, and connection. This spiritual isolation is the result of years of rejection, not only of others, but of themselves. Narcissists have disconnected from their own souls. Their fear of vulnerability, their rejection of love, and their inability to accept their true selves have left them spiritually barren. And while they may try to mask this with external validation, it's a futile attempt. Nobody forced them into this isolation. They made these choices willingly, and now they must face the consequences of this severed connection. Sign 5. The physical reflection of inner chaos. The external image narcissists work so hard to project begins to crumble when their inner chaos becomes too great to hide. They might appear more tired, even with adequate rest, their faces drawn, their eyes dull and lifeless. It's as if they've aged overnight, carrying a weight that wasn't there before. This transformation isn't just about stress or exhaustion, it's spiritual decay manifesting physically. The body, after all, is a reflection of the soul. The years of denying their truth, rejecting authenticity, and living in manipulation have taken a profound toll. The lies, the mask they've worn, have created an imbalance that slowly starts to show. No amount of makeup, grooming, or material wealth can conceal the inner darkness they carry. Their downfall is simply the natural consequence of their choices. Conclusion: left with the void. What remains when everything falls apart? A narcissist standing alone, faced with the emptiness they've created. This emptiness is not superficial, it's profound. It is the inevitable consequence of their actions, a void that cannot be filled. They are their own greatest enemy, having rejected everything that could have brought them peace. In the end, it is this void that defines their fate. No love, no truth, no connection, only the bitter emptiness of their own making.